Today we'll talk about organizational development, OD. In short form, it is known as OD, organizational development. What does it mean? We'll understand the meaning and the definition and the characteristics. What is organizational development? As the name says, organizational development. But organization केମିତି develop होची? भिन्न example हमें दबा. We'll talk how it is happening. You take one example on your desk. Look at you. ନିଜକୁ ଭାବ 10 ବର୍ଷ ପୂର୍ବରୁ ତମେ କ'ଣ ଥିଲ? ତମେ ଆଜି ଯାହା 10 ବର୍ଷ ପୂର୍ବରୁ ତମେ ଭାବିନଥିଲ କି ତମେ ସେଇଆ ହବ ବୋଲି। 10 years before ତମେ କ'ଣ ଥିଲ? ଷ୍ଟୁଡେଣ୍ଟ ଥିଲ, ପାଠ ପଢୁଥିଲ, ତମେ ଜାଣିନଥିଲ ତମେ ଏଇଆ କରିବ, ଏଇ କୋର୍ସ କରିବ, ଏଇଆ ଚାକିରି କରିବ। ସେମିତି 10 ବର୍ଷ ପରେ କ'ଣ ହବ ଏବେ ବି ଜାଣିନ। ତମେ କୋଉଠି କ'ଣ ଏଷ୍ଟାବ୍ଲିଶ ହବ, କେମିତି କ'ଣ ଚାକିରି କରିବ, କୋଉଠି ବାହା ହବ, କୋଉଠି ଫ୍ୟାମିଲି କରିବ, କିଛି ଜାଣିନ ଏବେ। ସବୁ କିଛି କେମିତି ହବ? Slowly due to different changes, planning. So आस्ते आस्ते in the course of time, as the time goes, धीरे 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 सब जिनिस हब। सेमती ऑर्गेनाइजेशन ने सेमती हुए। Organizational development means the development from all the aspects, like their planning, their strategy, their production, their organization of people, structure. सब किसी डेवलपमेंट हैला पारे ऑर्गेनाइजेशन डेवलपमेंट हबो. We are talking about the entire thing of organization, and this is not a small thing. This is an ongoing thing. That's why the below point are given. Long term focus. तुम्हें आज जहाँ तुम्हारा ऑर्गेनाइजेशन आज तुम्हें 5 वर्ष पर कौन हवा, 10 वर्ष पर कौन हवा, तुम्हारा आज 100 लोग आज तुम्हें 5 लोग करिवो, किमेती ब्रांच करिवो, वो कंपनी किनिवो, everything is planned. Long term focus. तुम्हें ऑर्गेनाइजेशन ने कौन हवा after several years, you are planning from now. That is long term focus. It's not short term. Kali कौन हवा, kali केते production हवा. It's not coming under organization development. Continuous process. This is not stopping. Every time you are thinking, and this is continuous, this is ongoing. Whenever you are planning something in future, whether it's your personal things or your domestic things or organization things, it is continuous process. You are always thinking ongoing process, but thinking that how organization will develop. For any small thing, you are making a plan, making a strategy. Suppose you are planning to open a new branch or planning to have a new product. So you are planning how much raw material, what is the machinery you need, how much people you need, how you'll do. Once the product is ready, how you'll market, who wants this product, who are the consumer. So you are planning everything, then only you are going to expand. This is planned process. So any development work you are doing in the organization, first thing we understand is a long-term focus, the continuous process and planned process. Oblique, it is mentioned as change. Change means any change in the organization. I have given one example, like you, what you are here now, You did not think of that 10 years before. 10 ବର୍ଷ ପୂର୍ବରୁ ତମେ ଭାବିନଥିଲ ଯେ ତମେ ଏଇଆ ହବ ବୋଲି। ବା 10 ବର୍ଷ ପରେ କଣ ହବ ବୋଲି ଏବେ ବି ଭାବିନ। How it is happening? You are making small changes in your life. ତମେ ସ୍କୁଲ କମ୍ପ୍ଲିଟ୍ କଲ, ତାପରେ କଲେଜ କମ୍ପ୍ଲିଟ୍ କଲ, ତାପରେ ହାୟର ଷ୍ଟଡି କଣ କରିବ ତମେ ଡିସାଇଡ୍ କରୁଛ। କୋଉଠି ଚାକିରି କରିବ, କଣ କରିବ, ଆପ୍ଲାଏ କରୁଛ। ସବୁ ଜିନିଷ କଲା ପରେ small changes, you are making a big change after a long run. Dynamic in nature. Sometimes you have to take decision based on the situation. You cannot go as of suppose your situation is very bad. You need money or your health is not permitting certain things. So you will make the plan accordingly, suitable to your health, suitable to your financial condition, suitable to your family. So it's dynamic. You cannot make a plan like me, or I cannot make a plan like you. Your situation and my situation are different. So your strategy, your plan is different from my plan. So everyone, see, you cannot compare with others. So that is the meaning of dynamic in nature. Anything you are planning, it based on your situation. Problem oriented. You have a problem. It's similar. You have a problem in life. So what you are thinking, your solution. So the changes, the plan, what you are making is related to your problem. So at the same time, whenever you are planning something, you are also thinking your solution. So things are problem oriented. Whenever you are doing something, you are changing something in your life that is related to the problem you have in your life. So you understand dynamic nature, problem oriented nature. These are the different characteristics of organizational development. The organizational development is a systematic plan. And when you are planning, you are considering the people, considering the organizational structure, considering the behavioral aspect of the organization, all the people. So everything you are considering and making a plan which will help the organization in long run. That is long-term focus. You cannot think just 1 day, 2 day ahead. You are thinking years ahead. So what is happening in the organization or how your organization is going to be after several years. So that is long-term goal. So this is something, the characteristics. I'm not reading the whole slide. So in this slide, you have the meaning of organizational development. So you can refer as OD. This is mainly known as organizational development is known as OD. In the first two paragraphs, it is mentioned as the meaning, and the second thing, the points, the 5 points, what I was telling, the characteristics, the nature to explain what is the meaning of organizational development. Then we'll understand the different characteristics. Characteristics of OD. One characteristic is structure. What I was telling, the changes. Changes to structure, color, culture, strategy, and process of individual job through the entire organization. In any organization, suppose you want to make some changes, you are thinking about culture, You are thinking about organization structure, how people are arranged, what is the culture they are following. So if there is a change required, you are making such changes and making a plan, making a strategy of those changes to accommodate the change of your production of your factory. So any change, suppose you would think that you are opening a new branch office in a different location, in a different country or a different state. So you have to focus the culture part, you have to focus the people part. So you have to do all the recruitment. So main thing is planning for all these things. So once the planning is ready, you are implementing that. Another characteristic is application of behavioral science, knowledge, and practice. So what we studied the behavioral, the human aspect. So when you are recruiting people or when you are dealing with people, you are actually dealing with the behavioral aspect of the people, behavioral science. So people attitude, people behavior, people traits. So the manager, the workers, how they are thinking about the culture, about the organization, about the production. So you are dealing with that. Behavioral science. One characteristic is the improvement of organizational effectiveness by involving members of the organization in understanding the challenge while enabling in them new skill, knowledge, and way of thinking. So when people are involved in production in new product line, so a new skill, a new mechanism, new tools is used. So for that, you have to train and equip to be people with all this new training. So people are knowledgeable, then the effectiveness will improve, the productivity will improve, the profitability will improve. In order to improve the effectiveness, all those things, you are involving the people into all this new technology. Suppose you are adding a new product, new technology to your product line. New machinery has come. So the people working here in your organization are not aware of to operate the new machine. So what you have to do? You have to train them. You have to teach them, coach them, and then they will understand. So that understanding will increase the effectiveness, the productivity, the profitability of the organization. Your organization is improved. So that is a small change. So that is required when you are adding new things. The promotion of high productivity, performance, quality, product, financial performance, and continuous improvement. So when you are working with changes, with all this effectiveness, so you have to look at the productivity, performance, your product quality. So a lot of things you have to see and improve. So if your productivity, you have to improve. So you have to look at the people, machine, all the resources. So how you can increase your productivity. Suppose whatever you are produced this year, you have to increase the productivity by 20% next year. So that 20% how will improve? So your raw material may be you have to buy qualitative raw material, you have to increase the productivity, you have to increase the people skill, or you have to increase the machineries. So whatever thing you have to do, you have to think about that. So that is one characteristic of organizational development. The facilitation of changes in flexible, adaptable, and participative way. So when you are changing, when you are doing some big change, so it's not that you want to change overnight. You मनु कण आसला साइंस चेंज करदे. You have to consider others. You have to take opinion of others. ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କୁ ନେଇକି ଚେଞ୍ଜ କରିବାର ଅଛି. You have to flexible ସମସ୍ତେ accept କରିବାର ଅଛି, ତମକୁ ଗ୍ରହଣ କରିବାର ଅଛି. Participatory. That means when you are proposing or making some change in the organization, everyone should feel comfortable. यदि केही चाहुनथिबे जे तमे एका जाओ, that is not the way to make development. Sustainability so the consistent changes in the right direction continues beyond the life of the initial change of initiative. So whenever changing, those changes are sustainable. So you cannot make any difference activity which is not going to be permanent. So sustainable means suppose you are making a change that is something first thing is acceptable, everyone is accepting, and that is permanent. You cannot make a change just for 1 day, 2 day. So we studied one component which is ongoing process, long-term process. So anything you are doing, so it is helping the business, helping the organization in long-term development, not for 1 day, 2 day, but it is developing the organization for long run. So that is sustainability. These are the main characteristics of organization. When you are thinking that to develop organization, so you think about those points, the long-term development, process-oriented planning, change, these things you think, then you can write a lot of things under this point. Change management, change, accommodating the change in the business, in the organization, and how organization is developing with small change that will understand different points. As of now, you understood the characteristics and remember that those points which will explain the characteristics of organizational development. Need for change in organization. Changes are needed because they bring hope for the betterment of and growth of the organization. So when you think something, when you plan something to develop your organization, so you have to bring changes. So changes are needed. Changes are natural. You cannot avoid changes. We know that changes are inevitable. That means you cannot avoid changes. Changes are natural, permanent. and ongoing process that pressurize organization. Changes in an organization are required to empower the workforce so that it can explore new venture. The changes in the organization are required to empower the workforce. So if something is changing, the employees are motivated. Employees are excited to see the new things in life, new things. Suppose you are bringing a new machinery or bringing a new building. So people are you are moving the office to a new location. People are definitely excited. Changes in the strategy of system are needed and the performance or overall result is unsatisfactory. Changes in the strategy. So when you are planning your production strategy, so that changes is required. Changes in an organization are required because of the change in the internal and external environment. Changes are needed when an organization decides to do merger and acquisition. In case of merger and acquisition, so one company is merging or acquiring a different company. So there are some changes required in the product line, in the employee base, or in the cultural aspect. So many changes are required. Changes in an organization take place due to the advent of new technology that help in making the organization more advanced, efficient, and competitive. Changes within an organization helps employees to learn new things, target new customer for selling product, increase creativity, etc. So these are the changes which is required. So why you need changes? What is that? So we'll read this in detail. The change management. So what is the need of changes? Why you need changes? What is the requirement of changes? So you'll understand this. Change is something you cannot avoid. So you have to make changes for various reasons to grow your organization. These are the need for changes in an organization. Resistance to changes is the reluctance of adapting to change when it is presented. Individual resistance, organizational resistance. Sometimes changes are not accepted. Some people don't like the change. जिम ଚାଲିଛି କାହିଁକି ବଦଳେଇବା କାହିଁକି ଚେଞ୍ଜ କରିବା ସେମିତି କିଛି ଅଛି that will understand. But today you will understand the organizational development. Then another one class will finish the change that will end the syllabus. So we'll have another class that is last class of this paper. In today's class, you understand only the organizational development, which is mainly known as OD. And in OD, you remember those points, how it is a plant change and the behavioral science change for long term aspect, long-term changes of the organization, and it is focusing mainly the dynamic aspect of the requirement of the change and the problem solving aspect, how it is. Once you remember this point, then you can explain a lot of things. The long term focus, continuous process, how the process change is continuous, ongoing, planned process. Any changes you need, you have to plan. Dynamic in nature, how things are dynamic, problem oriented. So these are the main nature component or characteristics or objectives of the organizational development. Then we understood the characteristics and changes, why you need changes, need of changes. We understood up to this. Then in next class we'll we'll continue this with change, and that will close the syllabus, and we'll have one more class to finish this. Thank you.